The Multiverse Collective.
All right, sick. I finally finished my Celsius. My brain is at half function, and I think we're going to start off by having everybody do a really quick recap of their Pocket episode, just so if people don't want to be traumatized by all of the horrid shit that happened in Itchy and Arthur's Pocket episodes, they don't have to listen to them.
So in Slick's Pocket episode, we saw Slick grow up on the streets of New Orleans. He ended up joining a secret society called Le Main Noir. He made a small deal for a total of 20 minutes with Asmodeus, and he ended up, let's see, what was in between that and the ending? I don't think there was much. I think after that, we sort of skipped forward a little bit, and then we saw him at the poker table with Don Ruiz, taking him for a lot of money before we ended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that hits most of Slick's main points. And I don't even think you cheated in that poker game, did you? I think you just
undetermined.
got really fucking lucky. Undetermined. Undetermined.
I haven't confirmed or denied whether or not I have.
Fair enough. Slick's allowed to have some secrets. How about you, Itchy? What happened in your Pocket episode?
Well, we also see Itchy growing up on the Amadeus Springs ranch. We got to see Itchy's relationship with his parents and then his brother Ezekiel, and we got to see that play out. We got to see the traumatic events. Well, we got to see the highest of highs, where Itchy was poised to take over the ranch, received Evander, and then it all turned south once Don Ruiz came looking to buy Evander. Ezekiel, who was just super jealous, relationship got worse and worse. Don Ruiz remembered that, or Don Ruiz will always remember that Itchy refused like $400,000 to sell Evander. And then we got to see Ezekiel burn down the ranch. We got to see the reason why Itchy does the serious voice, and we got to see him make a deal with a demon to get back at his brother.
Sweet. How about you, Arthur?
We got to see Arthur back in the UK in Manchester with his wife and son, Clarice and Pete.
P-E-A-T.
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 That's important to clarify. Yeah, thank you.
He does. He does a botched bank job, we'll call it, with Jensen Rainey, now known as Jebediah Rainey. We see, allegedly, as far as Arthur is aware, Jebediah murdered Pete and Clarice, and we see Arthur go over to New York, change who he is, become a bounty hunter, spend several years looking for any clues on where Jebediah is. He finds out that he is now Jebediah, and he is rich and owns part of the railway. And after chasing him and finding somewhere that he thought he was going to be and he wasn't there, he hears about the Crossroads Demon, and he makes an offer to the Crossroads Demon to be able to win against Jebediah, basically. That's basically it.
Sweet. Well, that sounds like a bunch of poorly made decisions on behalf of Itchy and Arthur. I hope none of that comes back to bite you guys in the ass at all. I believe we find you guys after you turned in for the night, probably early the next morning. This would be the day after you all met and befriended one another. Befriended? Is that the right word, Arthur? You threatened to beat the shit out of somebody for Slick, which is interesting. Character development for you.
I've not decided if that means we're friends or I'm just protecting assets until I need them.
Yeah, that's fair. He does have quite the bounty on his head.
In Evander's words, we call it bacalate.
Nice. Yeah, I did forget that Evander is technically probably the most literate of the three of you.
Most definitely.
Which is, I think, deeply unfortunate for the two of you that made soul-binding contracts, but you guys don't even know about those or remember them at this point, do you?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know what I don't know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Something's weird, though. Itchy, you've been reading minds, and Arthur, you have all sorts of crazy shit going on as soon as you try and fight someone. So, Slick, how are you feeling this morning?
No, Slick is, I mean, he's getting up. He's sort of, he straps on his arm guns, puts on his coat, and he's sort of intrigued by these guys. He doesn't entirely know the full extent of what's going on with them yet, but clearly things are happening, and if he can keep them on his side, keep him a little bit safer at least.
Yeah, and you having the sight, as we're going to call it, you have since the beginning been able to see that Arthur and Itchy both have one of these strings tied around their arms. I feel like that's probably what intrigued Slick in the first place about these two. I mean, they're both very different people, but you don't see these strings very often. No,
not these ones. That and the whole Evander connection, clearly there's something going on there.
Yeah, it's not a normal horse, man.
Evander stares at you, unblinking when you say
that.
I'm
in my room.
Yeah.
He's
just outside the window.
You're on the second floor. You don't know how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm just sort of going with the flow at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. I believe last night you guys said you were going to end up trying to go to Amadeus Springs today, which it's like a 3-day ride from where you're at presently, I think we determined. Is there anything you guys want to do? Are you going to get together and, powwow before you head out, or are you just planning on getting on the road?
I think Itchy's going to buy the gang breakfast in the saloon before we go, and he's just going to be like, all right, so I want to make sure y'all are cool with this. I don't know what we're going to expect. I don't know what's going to happen, but if we're going to do this, we're going to do this. I don't know if I've told you the whole reason why I'm so hell-bent on taking care of my brother here, but if y'all have a second while we're eating breakfast, I'd love to tell you a uncharacteristically depressing story about where I came from.
Sure. I ain't got nothing going on.
And I think Itchy just gives like the 30-second version of the backstory episode. Just kind of
sweet.
explains.
Is there anything you leave out? Yeah. I mean, other than the deal that you obviously don't remember at this moment.
No, I think Itchy is pretty forthcoming to the group.
Sweet.
Arthur just be nodding, just eating his breakfast, nodding.
Yeah, just fully smashing it.
Yeah.
Being as polite as possible while also just completely fucking focused on the food.
He's like, in his head, it's like we should have been on the road an hour ago. Why are we stopping to eat breakfast? Faster I get it done, we can be on the
way. I think as you guys are sitting there eating breakfast, you hear another just terrible commotion outside. I mean, it helps that this town is tiny, so pretty much anybody even raising their voice out in front of the Pink Pony Saloon and Inn is a ruckus, but you hear shouting.
Is there a groundhog somewhere around here? I feel like we've done this before.
Yeah, it's almost like this town is stuck in some sort of crazy time loop where every morning something horrible happens.
Christ almighty. All right.
I'm just going to go and walk outside and see what's going on.
Yeah, I think Slick's just going to be here we go again.
I think even Itchy is just like, are you kidding me? Every day with this thing?
As we're walking out, I'm going to look at Slick and Itchy and go, what you betting? Piss boy has pissed his pants again.
I'll raise you a nice silver nickel for it.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm going to look out for as we go outside to see if Piss Boy has pissed his pants.
Yeah, you don't see Piss Boy when you walk out. It's very different. You see a tall man on a tall black horse.
And she stomps on the ground and flips Arthur a nickel.
He's mostly featureless, which is odd. You aren't used to seeing people who are, totally unrecognizable. And Slick, you would know immediately when you lay eyes on this man that this is not a man, this is a demon that's not even bothering to disguise itself.
When you say featureless, is it like literally like a featureless face, or is it just like
the plainest of plain?
So to you and to Arthur, Itchy, it would appear as just a very plain, forgettable face, and to you, Slick, it appears totally featureless. It's a blank face. There's nothing there. No eyes, no mouth, no nose. And he's standing there and he is pointing a gun at the sheriff's head, and the three of you are honestly, you can't move. His aura is overwhelmingly powerful. There's something about him that leaves you not just like shaking, but like mortally terrified. It's like when you encounter a tiger in the woods as a regular person. This is mortal fear beyond anything that you've ever felt. And I mean, even you, Slick, you've never felt power quite this much. Not even from Asmodeus. He's unsettling in some sort of uncanny way. Arthur and Itchy, if you look at his face for too long, you get this weird memory of hugging someone, but not like a normal hug, if that makes sense. And you can't put like a face or a name to it, but you just have this memory, this cold memory of a hug. And you're kind of ripped from that by this featureless, faceless, tall man sitting on a horse, pointing a gun between the sheriff's eyes. And you let them take her coins? You let them take the fucking coins? You're a damned idiot. Coolidge should never have trusted you. And the sheriff immediately slumps to the ground. He collapses in on himself. He's on his knees now, like he's bowing before this man. And he looks to the three of you, and he cocks his head, and he gives a little wave before turning and leaving town at a walk. He's not in a rush. As soon as this man, this creature, this entity reaches the edge of town, you three are able to move again.
Itchy runs over to the sheriff and just kind of like grabs him, just tries to like hold him up. Is it beyond stabilizing him? Like, is this a mortal wound?
Yeah, the bullet went between his eyes. He's gone before he hit the ground.
Itchy just takes off his hat and...
I'm gonna go to the sheriff's office and grab Piss Boy.
No. He's in charge now.
Yeah. Piss Boy was taking a nap. His feet were kicked up on the desk. He was tilted back in his chair, hat down over his eyes.
I'm gonna see through the window that he's asleep, and I'm gonna just fucking kick the door in.
Shit, I gotta remember how to do this one. Yeah. He startles awake.
Son, get your fucking ass outside.
Yes, sir. And he's like adjusting his hat and like trying to pull his pants up because they like slunk down because of the position he was in, and he's like shoveling his feet into his boots, and he's sort of doing like that pulling his pants up jig as he runs behind you out the front door.
I'm gonna walk out behind him, go, "You're in fucking charge now." And I'm gonna walk over to the sheriff and take the proper sheriff's badge and throw it at the kid.
One moment. Let's see if he catches this. I need to find his stat sheet to see what he rolls with. Oh my god, I have too many. This document's elaborate. Okay.
Yes, the 44 page. The 48
no success.
page.
It is 58 pages now.
Oh, goddamn.
Jesus.
He rolled no successes on 2 dice. The sheriff's badge hits him square in the chest and just drops to the ground. And not even because his reaction time was so slow, but he's just in shock. This is his mentor. He doesn't even cry. He's staring.
Itchy, sort the boy out. I'm gonna throw the sheriff on my shoulder, and I'm gonna What's the name of the place next door to the fucking deputy office?
The rectory?
The rectory. I'm going to take him into the rectory and lay him like through the open door that I broke last time.
Yeah. I mean, the door's still not fixed. He has like some burlap draped over to try and give him some element of privacy, but...
And I'm going to give him to the priest. Is it the priest?
Yeah, the pastor. So you've brought a corpse into the rectory without knocking, like, first thing in the morning. You're just like, hey, no, you don't even greet this man. You bring a corpse to him.
I mean, at this point, I feel like it should be expected.
Yeah.
Arthur is a man of few words and very much so more action.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him on the table and go, bury this man. And I'm going to walk out.
I think as Arthur's doing this, Itchy's just like, all right, well, usually I would say Evander would be able to give you, some on-the-job training about how to be a sheriff, but, well, this just added a whole nother load of shit to our plates, so you're probably on your own there, kid.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the sheriff the boy's dad?
We don't know.
You don't know.
We never found out.
No, you never asked. You don't even know this kid's name.
We don't even know his
calling
name.
Him Piss Boy. Yeah. No, you never asked, so it doesn't matter. He's Piss Boy now. He's Sheriff Piss Boy.
We did find out his name, like, above table, and I can't remember that name.
I remember that, but I
I
can't remember if he was the son or not.
I feel like Arthur would reconvene with Slick and Itchy, and then I'm just going to sort of try and survey the area, see what the vibe of the town is for the 4 shops and the Pink Pony Saloon in it.
Yeah, it's all quiet. There's nothing going on. Nobody even stepped outside at the gunshot, which is kind of weird. And it's also kind of weird that the pastor just, took this body from you without asking any questions or follow up about the fact that the sheriff of this town is now dead.
I think Itchy brings Arthur, Slick, and Evander into just like a team huddle, and he's just like, all right, fellers, well, what do we want to investigate here first? Because that's kind of, terrifying, but also I feel like maybe we have a duty to take a look, but also if we say no, I am certainly not going to object.
What I'm more concerned with is the fact that I couldn't move to stop it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for once in my life, I was stunned into silence, scared even.
I'm thinking we should probably just leave whatever that thing was alone.
Thing?
Yeah, wait a second. Look, I know I get on to Arthur about, respecting women and whatnot, but you can't just go around and be calling humans things. That was outlawed about, what is it now, 20 years ago?
That was no thing, Itchy. Or that was no human. That was something else.
You on drugs, son?
Nope.
Itchy, Arthur, give me 2d6s. Just straight.
7.
12.
7?
Natural 12.
Natural 12. Arthur, did you roll anything above a 5?
No.
No. Arthur, you immediately get just an intense headache and a solid ringing in your ears.
Sick.
And Itchy, you have another flash. I think you remember a little bit more about your hug and why you were getting hugged. I don't think you remember all of it yet, but I think you remember the full experience at the end of your deal.
Do I remember Evander or just...
I think you would remember just that you felt something like that before, that's not the first time you've encountered something like what Slick's talking about, like what you saw here.
So at that, Itchy takes a beat, he furrows his brow, and he's like, wait, hang on. Demons in my blood are talking to me. I've dealt with something like that before. I don't know what, but something is really amiss in this town, don't you think?
Oh, it's strange, all right.
Slick, what are you hiding from us? You're being really evasive.
My name's Slick. Of course I'm evasive.
He does got a point there. Gander nods.
I don't know. I can't tell you for certain what that thing's name is, but I can tell you guys have at least had some sort of run-in with it before. Not that one in particular. That one was something else. Even I ain't run into anything like that before.
I feel like I would remember a presence like that.
You'd think so, right? You'd think so.
Arthur, I feel like, with all due respect, I think Slick's telling the truth. I mean, I had no idea what was going on until just now. I had what felt like a moment of clarity, and I don't know what that thing was, but I think I came by it or something like it at some point. At some point between leaving the ranch and now.
Maybe I'm just missing something then.
Yeah, I'd say probably about 15 minutes.
Sorry, I just had a really stupid thought.
Those are my favorites. Of your
Arthur's gonna knock on his head like this.
But this is a steel trap, son. 15 minutes ain't going nowhere.
Oh.
As you knock on your head, roll me one more d6. Just
6.
6. As you knock, with each impact, and if you really get in there, I think you get this vague foreboding feeling, there's something that you don't remember, but you can't for the life of you put your finger on what it is that you've forgotten. It's like this feeling of dread, you go into a test and you're just totally fucking unprepared, and you at some point learned this information, but it's not there.
Yep, steel trap.
All right. Well, all I'm saying is, I think whenever we are traveling to our next destination, wherever that may be, I feel like the three of us, we gotta talk some things out, don't you think?
Probably.
I suppose so.
I still think our best bet's to go to the ranch. I don't really feel like chasing that thing down right now.
Yes, it did leave north. It left the way that you guys went to Coolidge's place.
Oh, sick.
Well, all biases aside, I got to agree with you there.
Yeah. Let's just fucking go. Nobody seems to care.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I think the quicker we leave, the quicker things might get back to some sense of normalcy.
Oh, normalcy's long far gone.
Yeah, Sheriff Pissboy is on his knees in the street weeping.
Oh, I'm gonna walk before we leave. I'm gonna go over to Sheriff Pissboy.
Son, there's only one thing I can tell you in this occupation. Shoot first and ask questions later.
He shoots you in the arm.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna pick him up and dust him off.
Now you need to be a man. I never got to see my boy grow up like this.
Are them two out of earshot?
I assume so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're not paying attention. You're dealing with a piss-covered child.
Evander's always in earshot.
I never got to see my boy grow up. But you need to make your father proud, son.
And he's dusting off his jacket and straightening his hat and
you fucking be the best sheriff you can be.
Yeah, yes, sir. And he's trying to wipe his eyes and wipe the snot out from under his nose, and he wipes the back of his hand on his shirt and leaves a huge snot streak.
Yeah.
But he's trying to pull himself together.
He's gonna take a smoke out, light it, give it to him.
But you'll be fine. Go and get a beer. He'll sort you right out.
He's silently nodding at you, and he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'll do that."
You've got this, kid. We'll be back in about a week or so. I'm hoping. If you have any troubles, leave a note in the Pink Pony Saloon for me to come back to, and I'll give you a hand when I get back here.
Yes, sir. And he's a mess, but he's gonna try because he wants to make you specifically proud, Arthur, because you scare him in a way that's really cool.
I'm gonna clap him on the back, and then jump on Bessie. And be like,
Yep.
You ready to ride, boys?
Evander just looks at you, gives you like a look that's just like, all right, I see you.
I think Slick steals the same horse he stole yesterday.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
riding
It's his
through the
now.
desert on a horse with no name.
Yeah, there were no consequences for stealing a horse yesterday.
Ain't that the lyrics to a song or something?
Yeah, Itchy, roll me 2d6. Just real quick.
Oh boy, a 3, a 1, and a 2.
You hear more loud screeching in your ears as you say, aren't those the lyrics to a song? What is going on? You don't know. It's almost
Itchy.
like...
The demons are fighting back.
It's almost like there's this hidden knowledge that you're not supposed to have. You have that every time you bring it up.
Itchy covers his ears.
It just breaks your internal reality. Yeah. It doesn't help.
All right, new plan. I don't know if I'm going to talk about music again for a while.
Oh, ain't that a shame?
Demons don't seem to like that.
Is there anything the three of you want to talk about on your ride out of town towards Amadeus Springs?
Well, all right, I shared my story. I feel like it's only fair if y'all do some talking.
Also, isn't it Amadeus Springs?
What?
It's Amadeus Springs.
Yeah, sorry, it's Amadeus Springs. I just have also named a character Asmodeus,
Yeah.
so I am really fucking myself up on that. Yeah, Amadeus
fine.
Springs.
It's fine. Everyone does it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
call myself
no.
Cliff in Norsino.
I got the Brutus
Yeah,
Brothers
no
thing.
ominous foreshadowing at all. Don't even worry about it.
All right, I did some tell-all soul-searching kind of stuff. Who's up next? Look, if we're gonna be, I mean, it seems like we're not only in this just from the perspective of, three friends traveling on the road trying to take care of each other's bounties and all that, but it feels like we're kind of in this from a more cosmic sense, if you will. So I feel like it's probably time we be kind of more forthright with each other.
All you need to know is I'm out for revenge. That's the reason I'm on this ride. That's all you need to know.
Ain't we all, brother?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just in it for the fun at this point.
I like that. It has been fun.
I respect it.
I mean, yeah, I got this whole bounty thing going on, but that's more of a them issue than a me issue at this point.
Tell me, who have you seen me lose a fight so far?
I've only seen you in a couple fights so far, so no.
See, that's all the information you need to know. You'll be fine right here.
I feel like knowing more would sort of help the situation, though.
Yeah, probably would, wouldn't it? Considering now that you, especially Slick, realize that what you're involved with these two is not good.
Hey, Riley.
Yes, my darling.
Aw. Would I be able to roll something? And let me explain to you what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Ichi has talked to a lot of people from Europe, and I think at this point he's probably realized that Arthur's accent is not necessarily Texan, not necessarily New York, what he says. Would I be able to roll to get any insight on that?
Yeah, for sure. You can absolutely roll an analyze check.
All right.
Everybody's favorite of our rolls.
Well,
One day, one of us will put a point into analyze.
One
I got an
day,
11.
you all... Oh, shit, you got an 11?
Well,
okay,
11, isn't it?
That's
what were
success,
they?
two
Two
successes.
successes?
yeah, 5 and a 6.
Yeah. 5 and a
I'm
6.
surprised you didn't use the other roll.
Yeah, I mean, you could have used your special times to figure this out, but I love that you
There's a
decided
limit.
to elect. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There is. I don't quite know what it is at this point, but we'll find it
Not
together.
gonna do that to my friends.
But
Yet.
Yeah, you know that he's lying about where he's from or what his accent is about, or that he's putting on this weird fake accent for some reason. You don't understand why, but this is not his real accent. You hear it strain at the edges sometimes, and you heard that like whole 3-hour block where his accent changed like 19 times. It was very upsetting, I think, for everyone, but it seems to have ironed itself out now, so I think you know that this isn't his real voice.
Itchy looks to Slick and is just like, hey, Slick, you mind riding ahead, just scouting out a little bit?
Sure, I guess. He'll move forward a little bit.
And so Itchy will sidle right up next to Arthur, and he'll just kind of lean over and be like, all right, look, I'm gonna keep it straight with you. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I've worked with people. I've worked with people from New York. I've worked with people from Texas, London, Vienna, Barcelona. I know accents, and I know yours. It ain't from here. It ain't from New York. I ain't gonna say nothing. I just want you to know that I know.
Arthur is going to give one of those stern looks again at Itchy.
I think Itchy's actually going to meet it head on, and he's gonna be like, look, you know I only use this voice when things are for real. This is important. We need to be honest with each other. There's a lot going on that I don't think any of us know. So all I'm saying, again, I know you got stuff. I know you got stuff that you're dealing with. I ain't gonna pry, but all I'm saying, it's important to be honest.
Son, I do this to protect myself and the people around me.
As you can see, I think we need to be protecting each other.
That's why I'm doing it.
Look, I think anything that you think we can handle, it's going to be better if we handle it, the three of us. I'm doing you a favor by just keeping this between the two of us. I ain't going to bring it up. I respect you. Just keep that in mind.
I got it.
And I think Itchy's gonna nod and ride up ahead. Slick, hey, you see anything back there? Up there? Wherever which way you're going?
Still just
That's
desert.
smooth.
Y'all talking about how he ain't from America?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely overheard all of that. Itchy wasn't quiet. Plus, I mean, you're a smart guy, Slick.
Oh,
You've known something was up.
yeah,
from the beginning.
Slick's known from the very beginning.
I think Itchy leans into Slick, and just tries to be as quiet as possible. And he's like, "Look, I didn't want to bring it up. I noticed it too. I told Arthur I wasn't going to pry."
Well, while this is going on, Arthur's going to shout from the back, Itchy, you said you wouldn't fucking tell him.
Itchy looks back. I didn't tell him anything. He figured it out on himself. Now, anyway, where was I? Like I was saying to Arthur back before, which I know you couldn't hear because I was doing a good job of being all quiet like. This is like projecting for like hundreds of
echoing.
feet.
We established in the first episode that your voice resonates naturally through nature.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you would notice if you were paying any sort of attention to your natural environment or had put any points into natural environment that the animals and like the fauna of the Texas scrublands are just like scattering, like hundreds of feet ahead of you.
Now, like I was saying all quiet like before to Arthur, it's not my place to pry, but we gotta be honest with each other. There's stuff going on that I don't think any of us can explain, and you know what? All right, let's all come back together. I think we're all kind of on the same page here.
I like to imagine we're like I'm like 4 feet behind him.
Yeah.
And I can still hear the whole thing the whole time.
Itchy turns around. Holy shit! You were right there the whole time. All right. Well, this is all to say, I don't want to start any like contention between the three of us or nothing. I think we need to be honest about who we are and why we're here, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
Fair. Yeah. My name is Arthur Richardson, a bounty hunter, and I'm aiming to kill Jebediah Rainey.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounded like an AA personal intro.
Hey, I've been through some shit.
Yes, chef.
I mean, there's a chance that all three of us are alive to see World War II.
I feel like Arthur would thrive in World War One, maybe not World War Two.
That's all the info you're getting out of me so far. I've known you for...
I'm gonna look at the shadows, and it's probably like 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the morning.
for a day. And an hour, maybe.
A day and two.
So that's all you need right now. My name and my intentions.
All right. I ain't trying to pry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really much you don't know about me, Slick Wiley. Just here for a good time. I got this, thing going on, what with the bounty and all, but outside of that, I'm just a traveling gambler.
Evander looks you in the eyes and narrows his eyes before turning back to face the front.
So what's your deal, Itchy?
Well, I kind of explained everything earlier today over breakfast. I used to own a ranch, was pretty set for myself. My brother doesn't know how to be gracious. I tried. Lord above, I tried. But he just doesn't know how to be a gracious person.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens when we get there.
Oh, we sure will. There'll be some fireworks. Don't you worry, boys.
Here's hoping. I could use a little bit of fun.
Just all I ask, leave him alive for me, all right?
Can I shoot him in the knees?
Honestly, that'd be great. I don't need that slippery little bastard running any more than he already has.
Just gonna nod and like tilt my cowboy hat and start riding.
He just does the
Flick the
hat
brim.
flick. Yep.
Yeah, I think you guys ride without any sort of event.
I feel like as we're riding, Arthur will go to get the picture of Clarice and Pete out of his pocket.
Yeah, we both know where it is, and I would love it. Roll 2d6 and roll one of them at advantage if you don't get a pass. Yeah. So you can re-roll one if you get below a 5.
I got a 6, and then I got a 3.
Okay, with your one success, you reach for the picture, and you have an immediate flash. Like, your first gut reaction is, oh god, it fell out of my pocket. Like, fuck. This is the one thing I have. And then I think you get, like, a flash of a memory. You remember specifically digging a hole and burying the picture in the hole. I don't think you quite know why, but I think you're, like, also overcome with this feeling of just dread. Like, you did that on purpose. There's a reason, and that kind of ache in your brain where you know that there's knowledge that should be there that's just missing. I think it's at the forefront of your mind.
And then I'm just gonna whisper to myself,
Fucking steel trap.
I think, I don't know, you guys probably ride the whole day and nothing happens. I mean, it's so quiet on the road. There's no one here. And it's still a couple days ride to Amadeus Springs, not Asmodeus Springs.
You got it.
Got it right
You got
this
it.
time. Thank you very much. I did this world building. I did it so much, and yet I still can't remember the names of places. But I think I don't know, maybe like 6, 7 at night. Sun's going down, and you come across a little town. There's a big wooden sign at the front that's like, slapshod together that says, "Welcome to Sweetwater." And it's a tiny, tiny, cute little town. There's like a saloon. There's a bank, just the one brick building there in the middle of town. There's not a lot to it. There's no real infrastructure. Everything looks very sloppily put together. Like it went up really fast. Other than the bank and like the inn and saloon, there's like a tiny little ramshackle lean-to general store, and the jail is physically attached to the bank. The saloon has lights on, none of the other buildings do. There's not even a house in sight. This is clearly just a stopping point.
Slick looks at the other two and goes, "What do you think the odds are before we leave this town at least one person dies?"
Knowing our luck, I'd put $1 on that.
I'd be surprised if it happened after tonight.
All right, well, let's go see what happens.
Do you boys fancy a beer?
Might as well.
I ain't gonna say no to that.
Don't look like there's a whole lot of money to be had here, but take a beer at least.
Beer is beer, man. Beer is beer.
I'm going to jump off Bessie, tie her up outside the saloon. What's the name of the saloon?
Oh, you guys get to name this saloon.
Oh, good.
Shit.
You get bonus points if it's a Chapel Roan reference.
I don't know enough of her song titles.
My vote is for the Hairy Armadillo.
Gross. I like it.
I was trying to work hot to go as a as a pun.
Yeah, that's the only song I know.
I feel like Red Wine Supernova is probably a little too flashy for this town.
Probably a
Good
little
luck,
too
saloon. For good luck, babe.
There you go. Let's
Boom.
put it to a vote. The Hairy Armadillo, spelt incorrectly, or
Yep.
I really like
Good
the
luck,
Hairy
saloon.
Armadillo.
Harry
Okay.
Armadillo does have a better ring to it.
Hairy Armadillo. It is spelled HARRY_S ARMADILLA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got an R, like really small writing underneath, just like tiny writing.
Yeah.
Armadillo. R.
I didn't realize the owner was British.
As you guys step into this saloon, the Hairy Armadillo, there's like almost nobody here. There's a teenage boy fiddling towards the back of the saloon for change. He has his case out. He's playing very well, which is kind of shocking for a town of this size. And there's just a stocky bartender behind the bar polishing a glass. There are a couple of people in here, but they look, really, really road-worn. They're not the kind of people that you, Slick, would even ask to play cards with. You can tell that they're, like, hard-up settlers. This isn't the kind of place that you would normally find yourself.
Now, Arthur, I know there's a young man back there, but that don't mean you gotta go scare the piss out of him, all right?
Why have you got to take the fun out of everything, man? Piss boy. I didn't do piss boy intentionally. The sheriff. I'm not even gonna tell him, God rest his soul, because he's pissed me off so much. The sheriff was a bad sheriff. And unfortunately, now Sheriff Pissboy had to deal with him, and that's his problem, not mine. But I only scared him because I needed information. I hope you know that.
I think there's a little bit of fun in there too for you.
Yeah, but being scary is always fun.
Either way, let's just get a drink. See if there's any rooms here to rent for the night and stay the night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it.
Everybody looks at Itchy because he's that loud.
Itchy speaks up. Oh, sorry, fellers. I forgot y'all ain't used to it.
And I think as the three of you saddle up to the bar, the bartender greets you with a smile. It's a normal smile. I'd like to clarify that. Most people that smile at you smile in a very creepy or off-putting way, and they want something from you, but he just seems like a genuinely nice guy. And he starts trying to chat a little bit. And I didn't come up with a voice for him at all, despite knowing that he was going to have dialogue for the last month and a half. What brings you three gentlemen to town?
Business?
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column 2.
It's a odd place to come for business or pleasure, I suppose. Everybody's been leaving town.
Why?
Well, you know, all the land around here is owned by Mr. Rainey and his boys. They're saying they're gonna sell all this to the railroad too, like they did down south, but I don't know, it's hard. There's like rumors and shit that they might move the branch line up here out of Holy Cedar. You know, you hear trouble coming out of that town every day. Be good for business. Maybe I get some paying customers in this place. And he kind of like gives side eye to the dusty, road-worn travelers.
As he's talking, and I feel like Arthur's holding onto his glass that tightly that it shatters in his hand.
He's gonna roll something. He silently, like wordlessly, just scrapes the glass off the counter onto the floor back behind him. And he puts another glass in front of you.
Sorry about that. Friend here's a bit of a steel trap.
Oh,
Catch him on drift.
Accidents happen.
Have you seen Mr. Rainey recently?
No, he wouldn't come through here.
Then how'd you know it's Mr. Rainey who...
It's
Is it
common
quiet?
knowledge that he owns all this land. He's not quiet about his acquisitions.
What kind of trouble you heard of coming out of Holy Cedar recently?
Oh, bandits showing up, people dying. Just a whole lot of trouble. Non-stop, it seems. Like every day something happens, someone dies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Some bad juju in that town.
Mojo, actually.
You ain't lying.
Sorry. Bad mojo. And it's weird that he just, like, automatically agrees with what you said. It's like... It's
Can
weird.
I do an analyze check?
Yeah, you totally
Trying to
can.
catch the vibe of this guy.
Yeah, roll me an analyze check. How many successes?
1.
One success?
Yeah.
With one success, you know something's a little off here, but it's not weird. It's like, it doesn't feel hostile, at least. It's just weird. It's odd. He's an odd guy, and it might just be because he's odd, and it might be because there's something else going on, but you don't know enough about this world.
I'm
that you
guessing I
found
don't see
yourselves
anything
in.
weird with him.
I mean, you don't see any strings, Slick. No. But you feel like some sort of presence here. It's not crazy, but there's just this like low, like ominous, not ominous, but like this background hum, if that makes sense. Like when you're in a room and the air conditioner is on, you can hear the air conditioner's on, and just you can hear the air conditioner's off. And there's silence, and there's not that silence. Like the hum is here. You feel it, if that makes sense.
I think Itchy is gonna just poke his head out and be like, "Hey, Evander, you still got that notebook?"
Evander snorts at you and cocks his head to the side.
All right, I was really hoping we could do something. If you left that back at the ranch, that's gonna be a pretty tough sale here.
You can go check his saddlebags to see if there's anything you can use.
All right, so I know it's not like written that Evander has a notebook. Would I be able to spend a special times point to acquiesce a notebook?
Yes. You can. Yeah, fully.
All right.
Fucking Itchy Special Times is the best fucking name for a move going.
Yeah, I wanted it to lack dignity.
God, all for my stupid fucking idea. All right, well, Ichi comes back with just like what looks like a leather bound notebook and a pen.
Like this.
Exactly like that. Doesn't say nothing, is just like, all right, I'm glad I remember one of these.
Arthur's just gonna give a really quizzical look.
Yeah,
At
same.
Itchy.
What are you planning to do with that notebook there, Itchy?
Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. Don't y'all worry about nothing.
All right.
Somehow that makes me worry more.
No, now that we have some downtime, I just like to write. Haven't gotten a chance to do that in a little bit, so thought I might take care of some writing tonight. Nothing ominous or nothing.
Secretly the Death Note. I'm gonna look back at this bartender that we haven't cared to ask for the name for, and I'm still not gonna ask for the name for. I'm gonna look at him and go,
So, how would one get in touch with Rainey or one of his companions? I'm looking to acquire some land, you see, so...
Oh, hell if I know. I'm just a innkeeper here in a nothing town in the middle of nowhere. You'd have to go to a big city for that. I don't know, I think Rainey keeps to Galveston or something.
I'm gonna take my notebook out and write Galveston down and circle
You had
it.
one of them the entire time?
This is my notebook, Itchy.
All right.
I ain't got no notebook, but how much would it be for a couple of rooms for the night?
Oh, you can have it for $5 for the three of you. 3 rooms for a night.
All right, Arthur, you got this.
$1.50 a piece. The math doesn't add up, but
The math really doesn't add up. But yeah, we'll take it. $1.50 a piece, you said?
yeah,
I'm gonna
he is
take
trying to
four.
scam
I'm
you a
gonna
little
take
bit, but
$4.50 out.
he does not even count it. There is no attempt to count it. He puts it into his apron, and he passes you 3 keys.
Excuse me, where's my change?
He blue screens. Yeah, he repeats the previous dialogue option.
Fucking weird, this town.
And he looks you just dead in the eyes. Vacant.
Ichi just stretches his arms and he's just like, well, all right, fellers. I think maybe we maybe have one more drink, head up to bed. We got an early morning tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And Slick's gonna kind of like motion to Arthur a little bit to step to the side and be like, I got a question for you. You still got those silver coins?
Yeah, in my boot.
Can I borrow one of those? I just want to look at it for a little bit.
Yeah, and you see Arthur take his boot off, like shake it. This little bag of silver coins drops out, and he flicks it to him, like,
Take it.
and throws it back in his boot and puts his boot back on.
Thank you kindly. And I'll be like, all right, fellas, I'm gonna head out to my room for the night. I'll talk to y'all later. And he's gonna take this coin up and examine it.
I'm gonna do the same.
So, Slick, the second you touch the coin, you just get this surge of energy. Like this power coursing through your body. You know exactly what this is. Itchy, what were you gonna do? Sorry, before I so rudely interrupted you.
Once we're like upstairs, I think Itchy's just gonna like talk, but like talk about nothing, but be writing something. And he's gonna show the notebook to Arthur and Slick, open to a page that says, "Do we want to take watch tonight?"
Yeah, I'll take first. I got some stuff to think about.
All right, I'll take the second room. Itchy winks.
All right, whatever. Oh, wake me up when you need me, I guess. Slick's just sort of looking at this coin in his hand, like, talk to y'all later, fellas, and head up to the
Night.
room.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Oh, probably will.
Yeah, so, Slick, Are you gonna inspect this coin at all? I mean, you know what it is, but
Yeah,
do we
he's
want
definitely
to...
going to take a peek at it.
Yeah. So you see on the head side, it's a face. It's not any face that would normally be on a coin. This is just some random person. It's not the regular silver dollar face. And, you know, the weird thing about these is that they are lively. They blink. These coins blink. Slick, it's odd. You've always wondered how they managed to do that. But the coins blink and their expressions change, and you get this incredible rush of power, and you actually get to add a skill point to your sheet while you hold this coin in your possession.
So I only get the skill point while I have the coin in my possession?
While you have the coin in your possession.
Cool. This was a smart guy. I'm putting a point in
skill
analyze.
Yeah, great.
Does that mean I get 19 skill points?
So I would... No, it doesn't actually, Arthur. You have to know what these coins are and what they do in order to receive their benefits.
Okay.
And you have to understand the gravity of what it means to hold one of these coins in your hand.
Fair.
Slick, do you understand the gravity of what it means to hold one of these coins in your hand?
I don't know if he knows the full gravity yet. There's definitely like weight to it, but I don't know if he fully knows what these things are.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely seen them before. These are the coins that you guys always had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least the real powerful guys in Le Main Noir. They always had these silver dollars, and you didn't notice that they blinked and moved before your deal with Asmodeus. But since the deal, you've never been able to look at them without seeing how lifelike they are, and the fact that every single one has a different face. It's odd. It's so odd. And you flip the coin over in your hand and you see the tails side. You notice a particular insignia. It's not one that you've seen a lot, but it's 3 rows of eyeballs. Not normal eyeballs, but 3 rows of eyes. Just straight up and down. And that's odd. You don't normally see them quite like this. The ones that you've seen have been Asmodeus's, and his tail sides look different.
Well, guess we'll find out more about these later. He'll put it in his pocket and put it in his coat pocket and take his coat off and head to bed.
Yeah, I guess you will find out about these later. And just make sure that on your sheet you mark that as a temporary point. I don't know how we want to do that. I'll come up with something. But that's where we'll end this first session.